Good evening and welcome to you all on one more of our fabulous Facebook Lives. And we have a real amazing individual that we're going to be interviewing tonight. We've got the fabulous Sharon Ritchie, who's going to be sharing some of her insights. But let me give you a little bit of Sharon's background. So Sharon is a mum to 4 amazing grown-up kids. And I have to say that she's got 4 grown-up kids, but she's got 8.5 grandchildren. 8.5. You're like, how can you get 0.5 grandchild? Because it's on its way. It's on its way. But not for Christmas, I don't think. And not for Christmas as such.
No.
So, unless it's really early, of course. But anyway, 8.5 grandchildren as such. Her working background, she's done many things, from financial services to hospitality. In her latter career, she worked for the Chambers of Commerce. For those that are unfamiliar with the Chambers of Commerce are basically kind of what it says, where lots of business owners get together and help each other thrive, which in the current climate is absolutely needed, more probably than ever before. So it's interesting to hear, as we're about to, from Sharon, how she transitioned from being an employee of the Chamber of Commerce to becoming a business owner. So tell us, Sharon, what was it that made you decide to go from being employed to running your own business?
Well, actually, I still haven't quite decided if I'm being totally brave or stupid. Perhaps a little bit of both.
Okay.
And a lot of people said that I was mad for going self-employed. I was mad for, starting my own business at my age. And I just took no heed. My mum and dad would tell you I wasn't very good at listening to what other people think. And I just carried on. I loved the Chamber. I loved everything about the Chamber. And I lived and breathed the Chamber. Most people that were, I brought in as members would know that. But the Chamber couldn't give me what I was looking for. 10 years ago, I had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. For all the fact, and I'm ashamed to admit it, that I was in financial services. Because I was in financial services when I was so young, I didn't take a personal pension when I should have,
Okay.
And guys, 10 years goes by like that in a flash. Then another 10 years. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And I never got round to doing it. So my biggest worry was, I loved the Chamber and I loved what I did, but I needed to have an income. I needed to create an income for myself. What happens if my rheumatoid arthritis gets so bad I can't work? What if I can't go out and run about the way that I did before? Running from this event to that event. As time goes on, I was aware that that was not going to be able to happen. And at one of the networking events, I met you, and I invited you for coffee because I was going to sell you membership. I'll be perfectly honest. That's what I was there for. And you told me about the business, and I thought about it, and I was intrigued about it, and I thought, okay then. But the biggest thing that got me was the residual income. That is what got me. Even if I can't work, the money that I've earned, which I get every month for just, doing what I do once, I get money every month for that. And I had never come across this residual royalty type income. And frankly, I thought, this is a bit too good to be true. I thought, can it be that good? And I believe I actually said to you, well, if it's that good, why isn't everybody doing it? And I'm not going to lie. It's it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get in and get on with it scheme, and you can actually make some fantastic money. So now what I've got access to a business that I can work from home. So no climbing up 3 flights of stairs anymore. I've got access to
Especially not in those high heels that you wear as well, by the way.
Well, yes, I have to say. I only need to wear them for short periods of time now. Don't need to be running about wearing them. But I can work from home, and I can mentor my team from home. I've got a fantastic team who obviously I'm there to help, and I can do that from home. I can bring in new partners from home. I can mentor them from home. I can help other people, you know, see the world differently. I mean, COVID has been a very, very difficult experience for a lot of people, and I totally understand and get that. But all through that, and all the things that I've done, the only thing that still gave me an income all through COVID was my business.
Interesting. So, by the way, please feel free to share these links. There'll be other people that can relate to what Sharon's saying. If you know anyone that's got any health conditions that are realizing that whilst everything's okay just now, life might not always be that way, because they might not be able to be as active as, I mean, I know Sharon was always running around, you know, she was super, super, super busy, but, you know, life does have to slow down, unfortunately, when you've got rheumatoid arthritis. So if you know anybody that's in that sort of situation, give us a love heart, give us a like, give us a share, all those sorts of things that I'm still to figure out how that all works with this social media malarkey stuff. But hey, we're giving you something that hopefully you will either relate to yourself or know someone else that will benefit from this. But something you said there, Sharon, was obviously we live in this world. You know, we're now, today's the 22nd of December. Do you know what the great thing about the 22nd of December is, apart from it's 3 days till Christmas? Do you know the best thing about the 22nd of December, Sharon?
Yes, is that the nights start getting, well, the days start getting longer.
Yes, exactly. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not just because the days are going to get longer and we're going to get brighter, and you know, spring will be around the corner before we know it, and summer will be here, and all that fantastic stuff. But obviously, with the coronavirus situation, you know, brutal reality is the whole country is going to be in lockdown. The whole country. I'm no politician. I'm no health advisor. Nothing like that whatsoever. But let's be honest. If this strain is growing, it's 70% faster than the last one, and we were in lockdown for months before. You don't have to be a mathematician to figure out. They talk about 3-week lockdown. Who are they trying to kid? Because they're certainly not kidding me. Certainly not kidding me. The reality is we're going to be locked down for a lot longer, because it's the right thing to do to protect ourselves as such. So when you said, actually, during the whole period of COVID, you've been able to continue to trade in business, that is amazing. Do you know, I read yesterday, no, the day before, I tell a lie, the 20th. Now, this came from the moneycharity.org.uk, that 4 million self-employed people got zero government assistance. Zero. None. Because of whatever different rules. If you can relate to that, give us a love heart, give us a like, give us, you know, if you know any business owner that said, it's all right for all these other people, we've had nothing, then give us a wee share, a wee like, a love heart. But do you know what's also startling is that there's going to be at least another 1 million people unemployed by the middle of next year. That was the forecast 4 weeks ago, prior to this new strain. How many more people are going to lose their jobs and would like the security that you've got being able to work from home? It's truly remarkable.
Absolutely. And my mission for next year is to try my hardest to help as many people as I can to create an income for themselves. If they've been furloughed, they're being furloughed with no, you know, no chance possibly of ever getting their jobs back. I believe there's over 1 million to 2 million people unemployed now. You know,
Yeah.
we've got an I've got an opportunity to offer these people. And my mission that I want to do is I want to help these people have an income, or even help businesses that are struggling right now have an income, even just to help them prop up their business, you know. And I've got the means to do that. And that's what I want to offer people, is that opportunity. We want to try and get this nation back on its feet. And I'm going to do it. If it means one person at a time, I'll do it.
So, and the one thing, because I've been lucky enough to have known you for as long as I have, which is, we'll say, a reasonable length of time, shall we say, and that's what you've always inherently done. And that's why you are so effective in the Chamber of Commerce, because you would connect different people to different people. You would see someone that had a need for something, and you knew somebody else that could provide for that need, and you would just connect the two together. And that's what you've been so brilliant at. So it's really obvious to me that, you know, in this business, you've just continued to do what you've done probably your whole life and never really thought about it from that perspective. And yes, people are hurting for sure. So, your business has been going a little while now. For those that don't know, things have been, let's be truthful here. They haven't always been plain sailing for you. You've had some challenges. Is that fair? Or you got a thumbs up to the? I don't know if that was a thumbs up to the fact that you've had a challenge, but we suddenly got a thumbs up. So whoever that thumbs up, give us a love heart as well now. I think, is that how you do love heart? I have no idea. Anyway, listen, we're having fun. If you're watching, you're thinking it's better than whatever dribbles on the telly. It probably is. I don't even know what's on telly at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. Anyway, there we go. Give us a little love heart. So things haven't necessarily been easy. It hasn't been a smooth path for yourself. So tell me, what's your drive? What's your passion? Why? It's easy to give up these days, and most people give up in everything in life other than breathing, to be fair. So what keeps you going?
I think a lot of it is I've done quite a lot of personal development to try and sort of work on myself. I think my whole thing is, if I want things to change, I have to change. I can't. You can't keep doing the same thing, same old thing, and expecting it to work. If it's not working, try something else. And I think
definition of insanity that is actually, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to lie. Your unshakable belief in me has been phenomenal in helping to keep me in the business. I have had moments. I've had moments where I've texted you and said, "Oh my God, I can't do this," blah blah blah. And you went, "Yeah, right," because you know what I'm like. I have my moments like everybody else, self-doubt and all the rest of it. But I always manage to continue on because I've got a great support network. My husband was a huge support to me. He believed in what I was doing, and I took my child, and she kind of believes in it too. Well, I did take her to Vegas to see Richard Branson and Tony Robbins speak, so I think a lot of that had a lot to do with it. I recently, last weekend, was it last weekend? I did a 3-day thing with the most phenomenal people, $1 million earners. And I got writer's cramp. I couldn't write fast enough. All the wonderful, wonderful things to help me. And I've learned a few things about myself. I need to learn to lead myself before I can think about, being the great leader that I would like to be to help other people so people will follow. I want to take my team with me. I am going to the top, and I want to take my team with me, and I've committed to bringing in 100 new partners next year. And I've committed to get myself to group leader by November. And I didn't make this decision lightly. I've just now, finally, after all the time I've done this, I've decided to make the decision that I'm going to go to the top and I'm not coming back.
Brilliant. They say, I can't think what the exact saying is, but basically, watch out world, I'm on my way is what you're saying. It doesn't matter what it is. You'll have what I call the ant mentality. And the ant mentality is really simple. If you take an ant and it's sent out to go and forage for food and it's to bring it back to base, to home, you can put a barrier in front of an ant and it will just look at the barrier and go, okay, so I can't go the way that I originally came, but you know what? I'll go over it. I'll go under it. I'll go to the left. I'll go to the right. I'll just do, because it's inside. It's internal. I have to do this. Nothing's going to. It doesn't matter what obstacle you put in my way. I'm doing this, and that's what I feel with you is absolutely the case. And as you say, you're going to be helping at least 100 new people realize that they can make an extra income from home. Safety of home.
Yeah.
Safety
and also, I know the safety of home, but also, I think back in my working career, I've worked all my life and I've always worked for other people. And always people, they got the best of me. And do you know what? I'm not going to lie. They made money out of me because I was good at what I did. And I thought, now I can do it for myself. You think of the amount of people out there that drudge to work. Sunday night, they're starting to get into depressed mode because they think, oh my God, I'll go back to work tomorrow. And then all they do is they live for Friday. And when Friday comes, the weekend, they're like, yes, this is fantastic. how would you like to have that feeling all the time?
Mm.
I sometimes I forget if it's weekends or during the week, because it doesn't feel, any different, because I'm doing
Mhm.
something that I enjoy doing, something that I love doing. So it doesn't feel like a job, because all I'm doing is helping other people. But obviously have found a way to create an income to doing that and helping other people to do that too.
Brilliant, brilliant. I remember reading a few years ago now, I can't even remember where I read it, to be honest. But do you know the day where out of 7 days in a week, in case anyone didn't notice, apparently there's 7 days in a week, okay? Do you know, do you know, of all the 7 days, there's one day in particular that heart attack rate goes through the roof. What day of the week do you think that is? Heart attack rate goes through the roof on this one particular day.
Either Sunday
Monday.
night, Monday morning. Yeah.
Yep. Sunday night, Monday morning. Why? Because people are stressed about going into the work and working for a boss who really doesn't give a
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
who always just wants more and more and more and more from you. I know that was, in my case, that was me as well. I mean, I'm super conscientious, really work hard, believe the harder you work, the better the rewards you get. That
True.
is not the case in corporate land. It's not, is it? You work harder, they give you more work, but they don't give you significantly more pay to reward your efforts in the first place. And it's no
You're only as
wonder
good as
people get stressed.
you're only as good as your last month, Spencer.
That's true.
You're only
That's
as good
true.
as your last month in the corporate world.
It's, I've been insulated it personally for over 16 years now. It's hard to believe because I'm still 21 years of age, in case anyone's asking. Do you know? So I started work when I was 5. Do you know? 16 years ago, since I had that, personally, I got myself into a stage of being stressed out that I actually got ill, and it's something that I still carry to this day as a direct result of that, because I was working for a horrific boss. Then, Sharon, I will admit to everyone on stream here, I went from, my last boss was a great individual, don't get me wrong, fantastic man, still keep in touch with him. So if you're watching, George, hi, George. But you know what? The demands on him came to me, and then I had to pass that on to my team. But I tried to take it all on board and to hide it from them as much as possible. And that's just horrific. And you get stressed and you get into a situation where your health goes. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to quit that and do what you did. I decided to start up a business. I was a mortgage broker, and I thought, great, I've sorted life. Instead of being told what to do, I'll do it myself. But you know what? I went from, as I say, great man. George is a fantastic man. But I went from a boss that demanded a lot to the worst boss ever.
Yeah.
Me. Because the pressure I put on myself to perform constantly was even higher than when I was employed. And it was only when I realized, actually, by having not just being self-employed, where you are the conduit to your income. If you don't work, there's no income coming in. But by realizing that by building a large organization, that's actually how you can bring your stress levels down, how you can have the freedom. I know in your case, with the arthritis, let's be honest, being in Scotland is not the best place for your arthritis this time of the year. You need to be in warmer climates to make that happen. And you're building a business that will mean you could be anywhere in the world.
I could.
And your business will continue.
That's correct. And I can still work from anywhere in the world now, because the company that I partner with has made that possible.
Yeah, exactly. So, if people are watching and thinking, well, what's this all about? Well, just think for a second, can you relate to being employed and thinking you've either reached the ceiling? If you feel like you've reached that ceiling, give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. You feel like you've ever been employed and you have reached that ceiling. The only way you're going to get above that ceiling is, how can I put this? Dead man's shoes, isn't it? Really, and you get that high up, it's dead man's shoes. You've got to sleep your way to the top. Don't recommend that, by the way. That's not a strategy of success. No, that's not, by the way. Definitely not. Okay. Or, I used to think I had to change the colour of my tongue from red to brown, because sometimes it's all about politics. And I'm thinking I'm not political either. Just like, So surely my efforts is good enough to get me to the next level, and that's not the case. So if you can relate to that, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. If you're thinking, well, to be honest with you, I don't actually want to progress any further, but I'm looking to make some extra income. You need to be joining the revolution. In case you hadn't noticed, the revolution is the side hustle, the side gig. This is what we're talking about. I think in America, it's now for every 2 working people in the household, they've got 2 full-time jobs. One of them's got a side hustle as well. And because of technology, because of the way the world is, even pre-COVID, having a side hustle or side gig is actually good practical sense, because we all now know having a job is not secure. You know, people talk about job security. You tell that to the 1 million people that are about to be laid off. You tell that to the 1 million people that have already been laid off since COVID has started. That's maybe not quite 1 million, but it's probably not 1 million miles off it. There is no job security. So why not build, as you say, your own business, your own organization? And just going back for a second, go Google this man, Robert Kiyosaki, a book I read years ago. So the first book he wrote was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Poor Dad, yeah.
Go read it. Great read, great read. But he wrote another book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And in the cash flow quadrant, he talks about 4 quadrants. And those 4 quadrants are employee. Sorry, I put my hand over here to be helpful. Employee. Yeah, it helps if I put it on the screen, is it? Employee. Then underneath it talks about being self-employed. And the difference between an employee and a self-employed is that you specialize in a particular area. You could be like a joiner or a painter, a mortgage advisor, you know, whatever. But you still have to, both of these things, you have to work for your income. But if you move over to the other quadrant and you move up to the B or the I, the B is a big business owner. Big business owner is someone who basically has, in his book, 500 people or more working with them. Not for them, with them, to create an ongoing income that means that they're superfluous to that. Or I, as an investor, where you know you can invest in stocks and shares and gold and all sorts of things that are out there as well. And when you move over to the right hand side instead of being the left hand side, money is now working for you instead of you working for money. And if you're thinking, say that again, that side means money is working for you. Yeah. That side, you're having to work for money. Which is the more sensible side, the left side or the right side? The answer is the right side. And when I read that book, I thought, wow, I thought I'd made it by going from an employee to self-employed. But actually, where I want to be is a big business owner and an investor. Because that's where freedom comes from. And as I say, going back to your arthritis, you know, I know for sure things aren't going to get easier for you. My mother suffers from arthritis as well. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So I applaud you for making that decision, because you're right. Some people would ridicule you for going from a safe job with the Chambers of Commerce to running your own business. So tell me, what would you say your success secrets are then? For those watching just now, what would you say is really the secret sauce to Sharon Ritchie? Tell me.
Relationships.
Okay.
I have to say, building trust and relationships. Okay. And, you know, I hear so many people, you know, when I encourage them to join the business, and they'll say to me, oh, but, you know, I'm not a salesperson. And I say, well, that's good, because I don't want a salesperson. What I want, right? Do you know what sales is? Just a conversation. It's not this big guru thing people think it is. It's just a conversation. And it's all about building up trust and relationships with people. And when you do that, people will always do business with people they know, like, and trust. Right?
True.
And it's not, and relationships are built on personal stuff, not business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's built on personal stuff. So I've always been very lucky. My mother used to say I could have a conversation in an empty room. I'm not really sure if that was a compliment or not. The one thing I've had to learn as I've got older is to listen more. And it has paid huge dividends, listening, certainly as I've got older. because it's when you listen, that's when you get the golden nuggets.
Sure.
And
For
obviously, the mentors that I have in my business, you've been hugely helpful. And even in my personal life, I mean, we've got a group of girls, we call them the Christmas Bells. And you know, when I was down and having not great moments, they were like, "But Sharon, we know you can do this. We know you're the woman from the chamber. You can do anything."
That's true.
So, you know, I've had a lot of encouragement from a lot of my friends and, you know, and my family. I've always said, my sister-in-law Dawn even just sent me a message earlier. Go get them, girl. You'll do it. You know.
Because let's be honest, for those that are watching this, okay, you might be thinking she's come across, she's calm, she's collected. I can tell you, 2 minutes before we came on, she was having kittens. By the way, just to embarrass her, she was having absolute kittens. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! and that's absolutely natural because, you know, warts and all, none of this is edited. This is out there in the big bad world. So, you know, what looks okay sometimes, you know, the butterflies are going in your stomach, but you know, you've come across amazing, which, you know, I know what you're more than capable of doing and how amazing. And as you say, you're a relationship builder. And that's the great thing with the people who come and join you on your journey, which becomes their journey too. You can take them to different levels. As you say, you've got mentors, you've got access to the best people in the world.
I do.
And what we do. The best people in the world.
Can I just say, I had access to Sylvester Stallone last weekend.
That's
I
right.
have to tell you, he was fabulous. For all the things you think about Sly, oh, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. He's not that, I don't know, he's just not what you think he is. He's so intelligent, so driven, so passionate. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and what's for those, I think you'll be able to YouTube this for that matter. Find out about his story, how people prejudged because of how he looked and how he spoke, and his jaw not quite being right. People would be scared of him, but actually he's a gentle giant. That's what Sly Stone actually is, and you know he's written. How many playwrights has he written? 64 or something. I can't remember how many it was now, but significant. And for him to, for those that please, after this, go just YouTube Sly's story and find out how many times he was knocked back with his idea of the Rocky film. Just go find that out. It was a ridiculous number. How many?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
36,000. Was it not 36,000?
I can't remember the number, and it was large. And then because he wanted to make sure. All right, okay, brilliant, well done you. He wanted to be Rocky. He wanted to be the part, but you know, look at this guy. What does he look like? Do. And you know, as a direct result, is it not the #1 grossing film ever outside of the odd film? Maybe, I don't know. It's like did he not say it's the? Oh God, I'm trying to remember the figures. Did it not cost less than 900,000 to produce, and it's made over 900 million? So it's probably on a return. It's probably the #1 grossing return on investment, because likes of Avatar and Star Wars and Marvel, they all put a lot of money in. They won't make, what is that, 1,000 times their investment. 1,000 times. And this was a guy who kept getting knocked back after knockback after knockback after knockback after knockback. So if you're listening, take also from our conversation tonight, if someone doesn't say yes, that's okay. You just get back up and go again. If the next person doesn't say yes, just keep going, because eventually someone will go, yes, actually, do you know what? We're going to run with this. And what I do remember is he was given his penultimate offer, which was $350,000 for his script, if he wouldn't be part of it. Now, what most people don't know is he was that poor at the time. He had a dog. He had to sell his dog because he didn't have enough money to get dog food. And he was offered $350,000. We're talking a long time ago now. And he still had the belief that what he had and how he could act upon it would be brilliant. And boy, was he right. $900 million Rocky has made. It's just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. You've got access to mentors like him and Dean Graziosi, who, if anyone knows Tony Robbins, they're like hand in glove. They're twins, and so many more mentors that you've got access to. And equally, every person in your team has indirect access to these people from around the world. It's truly,
because when I'm
truly
learning,
amazing.
I cascade that training down to them as well. So if I'm learning, they're learning. You know, I'm helping them with their personal development as well as my own.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me the future. What does the future look like for Sharon? And you know, I'm conscious of time and things like that. So we'll kind of wrap up at the end of this. But what does the future look like for Sharon Ritchie and those who want to, you know, if you're thinking, I want to be a part of this action, I want to get involved, then, you know, get in touch with us and the Time and Wealth Creator, or directly with Sharon, either or, you know, get in touch with us and we can pick up on an individual conversation, etc. You know, drop a little comment, or, you know, give us a thumbs up and we can have a chat if that's what you're looking for. But tell us, what does the future look like for Sharon Ritchie and all these people that you're going to be assisting?
Well, the future, and not even just from 2021, but forward into the future as well, is that I wanted to have this personal residual income until they find a cure for rheumatoid arthritis or any of the other things. But do you know what I'm loving? I'm loving the time freedom. I'm loving, well, before COVID, I was loving being able to just say to my friends, oh, come on, let's go and, where did we go? I went to Copenhagen with one of my friends, Jane. I just got up and went. I didn't have to go and say to somebody, by the way, can I get holidays? Can I get that day off? Or can I get 3 days off? Or I just went up and went. It was fantastic. And I want that for other people. I want to bring anybody who comes into my team, I want to take them with me. Right? If you want to come with me, join my team. Come with me, and I will take you there with me. Right? No more 9 to 5s. No more sitting in that stupid bypass for an hour and 45 minutes. That used to drive me mad. Sorry, but it did. None of that. None of that. That's what I'm looking at. So I said 100 partners. It might be more.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And no, do get in touch. And as I say, if you're thinking that's not for me though, but it's been interesting listening to things. But I can think of other people that are looking for an extra income. Let's be honest, even just an extra £200 a month, which is super easy actually. You know, even just an extra £200 a month, I think might make a difference to X, Y, or Z. Then they should get in touch. You should get in touch and say, I don't really know what it is you're doing, but can you tell us? And we will tell you on an individual basis what it is and whether we think we're able to assist you, or your contact, as the case would be. So listen, Sharon, I want to say thank you very, very much for your time tonight. It's been a true pleasure to have a conversation with you tonight live on Facebook, and hopefully it wasn't quite as scary as you thought it was. But to each and every one of the people listening and watching the replay, listen, the future is actually brighter than most people think. Yes, I am not belittling the whole COVID situation, because it's brighter because, as Sharon said earlier on, the nights are going to start getting brighter because we're on the 22nd of December. And it's going to get brighter because we know the vaccines are coming with COVID. We know the situation of lockdown will not last forever. However, there is doom and there is gloom. Fact is that we will still be feeling the financial effects of this for years to come. This is the largest recession that's recorded in history, and more people are going to struggle as a result. So if you know anybody that has been affected in any way financially, please feel free to pass on this link and say, this might be of interest. Get in touch with these guys. They might be able to help you in some way, shape or form. Listen, have a great Christmas, everyone. It's just I remember when we went into lockdown in end of March, and now that was 9 months ago, by the way. 9 months ago. You know, you could have got pregnant and had the baby by this time. It's like
Really?
time go like that.
Really?
9 months. You know, it goes by like that. But what can you do in 9 months? That's the question, I suppose. The answer is you can do a huge amount in just 9 months. Just think, where would you like to be 9 months from now? What would you like your financial circumstances to look like? How would you want your family to be looking at you in 9 months' time? Because we're definitely going into lockdown. It'll be way more than 3 weeks, in my humble opinion. And do you know what? You can work from home, top up those furlough wages, because you're only getting 80% if you're on furlough, unless you've got a very generous employer. So listen, reach out. But listen, most importantly, enjoy Friday. Have a great Christmas as best you can with the limitations we've got. We've got one more Facebook Live before the year end on the 30th of December. I will be interviewing a couple, so this is going to be interesting. I've never done a couple on, so I hope there's not too many arguments. This could be, actually, you should all plug in 30th of December, because there could be, oh no, I never said that. No, I never said that. Could be, you know, it could be very interesting, shall we say. So, as I say, Sharon, thank you very much once again. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
You have a great Christmas.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.